Yo, can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? Nigga, what? Oh my god! Why do people call me? Oh my god! Jesus, bro. There's already 10 people in here, bro.
Put your phone on D&D.
Am I bugging or is this nigga tripping? Mike's tripping.
Nigga, do you not have like
I
a
ain't even
second
hear
phone or
nobody
something?
talk.
Like,
Say something again, Double.
Put your phone on D&D.
Okay, there you go. Okay.
Oh, he good.
nigga, you don't have like a second phone or something with like no SIM in it?
Bro, what? No, I don't have a second phone with no SIM in it.
Nigga, just take the SIM out, nigga.
I used to have a Spaces phone when I was doing Spaces Heavy, but
Nigga.
now people antennas go off when you're using Spaces, bro. The same shit happened to me. I just did a WNBA space. 5 phone calls. Killed my shit.
It just be blowing
It's
me.
like the 6th attempt.
It just be blowing me, especially when I sit here and I tell people I'm working, nigga. I'm working, bro. If I was working at any other job where I had to go clock in for whatever reason, people would respect my time and my ability to answer phone calls more than they do now. Niggas just take advantage of that. And what's crazy is to be the niggas that literally will sit there and benefit from the fact that I'm my own boss and I can adjust my own time, but won't respect the time, bro. Shit is
Wait, look, can I ask you a question? How often
Even this nigga Snipe just called me. Jesus Christ.
How often do you how often do you decline phone calls or not pick up the phone?
Here, I just did it this night. Yeah, let me DM you real quick.
You gotta get like agent, my nigga. Gotta stop answering niggas.
I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. Start declining them calls, nigga.
No,
Stop picking phone.
wait.
Put that bitch on D&D.
Look into what I'm about to just what you call it.
All right, I will.
You see?
Dang.
Yeah,
I see.
That's tough, gang. I ain't gonna lie. That's tough.
So and what's and again, just I can't even deal with it. All right, so this is the last time me making this, bro. I was trying to also just go on Discord. I don't know.
Nigga, I did not see you in there, bro, by the way.
I was in Discord.
I don't know, my shit must be tweaking. I didn't see you.
I think I'm in Discord right now, actually. All right, yo. Nigga, just somebody, if y'all want to just say something or you believe that I'm wrong in some capacity when it comes to the WNBA situation, just let me know.
I do want to respond to something Damo had said in one of the earlier spaces where we was trying to have a conversation, but that Drew League to NBA comparison, I don't think that was a fair comparison, only because
I didn't make a Drew League NBA comparison.
You said players sacrifice parts of their game for the
yes, role players in the NBA sacrifice their games for systems instead of being like the full capacity player that they could be. They sacrifice and take lesser roles to maintain a spot in the NBA. That is 100% a fact.
It is, but it's also because that those elements of their game aren't good enough to get paid from them. So what I'm saying is like, okay, Damo, you play, right? You play ball?
Played heavy, yes. I won't say I'm actively hooping right now, but yes.
Yeah, I'm not talking about right now, but I'm saying like you've played.
Yeah. Hooper, real life
Okay,
Hooper. Yeah.
same. So what I'm saying is like the reason why they're not doing that in the NBA is because they can't um, consistently do it at a high enough level. It's not just because that they're sacrificing part of their game. Is that because people that can shot create and score on an elite level, that's always needed in the league. So what I was saying is like they get that stuff off in the Drew League because the defense isn't as elite also as like they play in the NBA. Um,
My counter to that would be somebody like the tallest Grant brother, Jeremy Grant. That would be my counter. He spent the early part of his career as a bona fide role player for teams, either competing for playoffs or this, that, and the third, and he knew he could do more and betted on himself and did more when he went to the Pistons.
right, but
Now you can argue he went to the Pistons, someone had to score, fine. My argument is he knew he could do more and went and did more. And I know he's not the only player in the NBA like that. Granted, I'm not saying Matt Ryan is about to go out and hezzy tween somebody if Matt Ryan wants to. But what I am saying is somebody like, for example, I'm trying to think, arbitrary role player, Jeff Green. I feel Jeff Green had a lot. Jeff Green in his prime had a lot more to give than what Jeff Green was giving in his prime because he was in systems. That's what I mean. Obviously, everybody can't just go out and drop 50, but a nigga like Jeff Green definitely could have did more on a team or could have had more in his game than what was shown because he just accepted, okay, I'm a role player and I'm trying to stay in the league for as long as possible.
Bro, I just want to talk about the WNBA. I don't know what the fuck y'all niggas talking about.
but
Lo,
as far
why
as
do
the
you really
Niggas,
NBA,
one thing
Lo,
that
why
niggas
do you
really have a
really
problem
think
with,
making the
niggas
ball
don't want to lower
smaller is
that
doing
rim.
something?
If you feel like that was a problem in the video, fine. That still does not
No.
that should this. What'd you say? What'd you say, Dama?
No, I was saying again. I have anything I argue isn't me watch. Oh, there go mustard. Anything I argue isn't me watching that video. I'm just here talking strictly WNBA. I don't want you to think I'm one of these niggas trying to dogpile on that video. I haven't seen referencing. Is it from the video? Is it just strictly from what you think will be better for the WNBA that I heard you say in Twitter Spaces? Fuck. So if I'm stuck on the lowering
Again,
the rim, making the ball smaller thing, that's strictly because that's all I've heard you say outside of obviously the 4-year thing, and we had that conversation already.
and
they
also
already do play with smaller ball, correct?
and also yeah they do, and also marketability as well. Something that not only that I agree with, but also the commissioner has already committed over $1 million to improving in the league.
But also,
Why does $1 million sound like not a lot?
For them in that league, not it is. That's a good amount.
but I think people like kind of coming at the situation from two different aspects. So
This nigga mustard.
some people coming at it from the player perspective, and some people like seeing it from the league. So
That's what I wanted to ask.
from a player perspective, I do get the fact like, oh, we don't want to lower the rim because, they would have to learn how to shoot on said rim, and it could take some time to be honest with you. But as I think one thing that people like miss what Lowe said in the video is that rules and things get changed often to make the league better. So that is it,
It happens literally all the time.
right. So I do think lowering the rim, honestly, it may be quote unquote disrespectful or whatever to the players, but from a league perspective, if you are trying to get in the green as a business, I do think that just makes your game more entertaining. You have more women able to, finish highlight plays and fast breaks. How, we're accustomed to seeing them.
Okay, Dre, what is
There
your?
was
Hold on, Dre. What does Dre got to say? Is this nigga?
I can't hear that.
I
was
want to say
gonna
Dre.
say-
Is he saying something?
Oh, I muted.
The one thing I
My
was gonna
bad.
say is that in the last space that niggas was saying that it would hurt the game. I don't remember who it was, but the people that said that lowering the rim would hurt the game, like how?
I think they're just saying the learning curve for for them may end up inevitably hurting. I don't know. Actually, whoever said that,
No, but
let me
like
know.
in
It
like
is. It would be.
in
It
a
would
more
be the
practical
learning curve for
standpoint, like
shooting.
playing basketball, like the net size outside, like if you go hoop right now, it's more often than not 10 feet, right? So like the access of actually just having the lower rim itself would actually have to change dramatically too. So that's something would also
Sure,
play a factor. But yeah.
sure. Dre, what was your concern?
My whole thing was just it felt like okay, so you said your points and then I was like I couldn't really understand. So basically it just felt like you were trying to blame someone you were trying to blame someone or something, and I don't know if that's the players or like you just brought up like the Kathy and the executives in the office. I was trying to see uh where are you putting this the reason for the not being profitable.
When the premise of the video was me blaming people who try to have the discussion and either are not not informed or disingenuous in the conversation that they're trying to have. That was the blame there, and because of the level of disingenuous around the conversation, we can never actually address the real concerns, or most people can't really address the real concerns with the league. I personally, I can't be critical on Kathy because she just stepped into the role. I think that some of the things she's already talked about are things in which I agree on, and many people have agreed on, such as marketing the stars, identifying and marketing the stars. She literally said at the All-Star break that they're going to invest $1.5 million. I could be wrong with that number, but I'm pretty sure it's like $1.5 million and into helping stars identify their brand and marketing them better. She literally said it. Literally, the commissioner of the league agrees that marketing stars prior to her being involved was a problem with the league, and she's invested money into it. So I personally can't be too critical of her because she just came into the league. Before then, what's my man's name? Well, first, quick second, they didn't even have a
I think
they didn't even have a they didn't have a commissioner. They had a president.
it was another older lady,
It was
but she
Lisa
basically really
Borders.
she didn't do anything.
She didn't do anything at all. I
Yeah,
don't think she did a single thing at all. Lisa
yeah,
Borders did little to no. And
yeah.
I think
Well, that's what I kind of meant, like the past, because she did just get in.
yeah. So I can't blame Kathy because I don't think she's done. I mean, she literally just came in, so I can't blame her. I just think that I think the direction in which she's going into is great. They're trying to expand the league. They also this upcoming season they're going to expand the amount of games they're going to play, which I think are also great. I think more games make the league more visible. All those things I think are fine attributes to adding to the game adding to the game, and that's the conversation that I would like to have or be a part of or at least listen to. But what tends to happen is every single time we go down the path is just people pandering or the conversation gets pivoted to something that will not actually aid the league. That's what tends to happen. And ironically enough, on Twitter right now,
It's
people
happening.
people think they're people think they're higher than and they're virtue signaling, but they're actually doing the exact same thing that I said was the problem to begin with. They're literally doing it right now. Literally. Niggas who didn't even watch the video, who are sitting here making some form of assumptions, who don't know anything about the sport. At least it comes across like they don't know. They know little to none about the
They
sport.
They don't know.
So that's what it comes across as.
But the thing is, though, Lo, and I agree with you on that. I feel like some people are just mainly mad about the thumbnail.
Bro,
That's what
Low
people
know
are mad about.
it, bro. He know what he did. He not dumb.
But my thing is, I seen Omar complain about the thumbnail and stuff. But Omar has made clickbait stuff.
Yeah, Omar made.
I don't even know how
Omar made the dudes who said black women don't like thugs. Like, come on, we know.
Yeah, and Omar
Or
also
the Tory
made a
Lanez
video.
thumbnail.
Yeah, about the Tory Lanez thumbnail. That was clickbait also. Like Tory,
I don't know. Also, I don't know how is it clickbait? How is it clickbait?
Yeah,
Low, you know,
Lowe's.
clickbait.
The lying part, the women are lying
You
part.
did not need to do that, bro. That
She
could,
did. I think she did lie when she said she made claims that the WNBA.
yeah, that's a bold-faced lie. Yeah, that's a bold-faced lie.
When she said it was in better standings than what the NBA was in 25 years into the league, that is a
was
lie.
it a lie or is it not contextualized? It's too.
No, she's lying. That's a lie.
I just think that's lying. I think she also didn't contextualize properly the CBA aspect of her argument. I think she was being disingenuous with that, and she was misguided with some of the information she was giving. But I think that straight up saying that the WNBA is in better standings than what the NBA was in 25 years in, I do believe that's just a lie.
And also, I'm not even gonna lie. Even
but also in the video, I agreed with a few things that she said as well.
You did.
Yeah, I watched your video, and I don't think it was you're tweaking on the lower the rim thing. I think we can address other stuff before we get to lowering the rim, because there are other things they could fix first before they can even get to lowering the rim. Because
there's two things. There's two other suggestions that I made in that video.
The college rule as well.
That people just do not want to acknowledge.
Yes.
They're harping on one aspect of the video. Out of a 12-minute video, they're harping on one thing that I said in the video instead of contextualizing everything I say in the video, and then ironically enough, are claiming that my claims or my video was being lazy when these niggas either did not watch the video or overreacting, or did not watch the video as they overreact to a thumbnail, or they failed to contextualize what was happening in the video.
But Lo, they don't know how to build a business. That's the problem.
Lo, as big as your platform is, you know how thumbnails in the society we in triggers fucking people. You could have done a better job of avoiding all of this and actually getting people to click on the video if you change the title and thumbnail.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a big fan.
Niggas not responsible.
No.
And
Do y'all think
what thumbnail? What's wrong with the thumbnail?
Bro,
there's nothing wrong with the thumbnail. That's one. Number two, do y'all think Fox and CNN became Fox and CNN?
I don't get what's wrong with the
by
thumbnail.
being totally transparent with headlines?
You know people were going to be triggered by that thumbnail.
Niggas not responsible for
triggered. Everybody stop. Najee, what is wrong with the thumbnail? The thumbnail, what's wrong with it?
To me, personally, I did not have an issue with it. I think you're reaching calling her a liar, and I do.
Najee.
Bro, can you let me
speak about the thumbnail, not the title.
Bro,
you said the thumbnail.
Lo, the issue is this. It's not about what I think, because I know you. I know I have critical thinking. Most people fucking don't. So when they see shit like that, plus you're calling her a liar, they're going to get triggered like that. I'm saying
I never called her a liar, though.
Bro, you said she's lying.
You said WNBA players
lying and being called a liar are two different
Okay, well,
things.
You shouldn't have said she was lying. In my opinion, I think you could have.
But she did lie.
She did lie.
I don't think she lied.
Either she lied or she.
Najee,
no.
I don't care. Najee, I don't care what you think she did. I am telling you, it's an irrefutable fact that she. But
Lo, you can't. The reason I would disagree a little bit with that, though, Lo, even she was wrong.
She was
more than she was like. She may just not be informed on the NBA.
That's why I'm not calling her a liar. I think she's misinformed. But when somebody lies, I think they're like deliberately.
That's intent. That's intent.
That's the issue I have, because I think it's coming off like when people see it, they think you're saying she has bad intent. I don't think you're trying to do that. But when you post stuff like that in your platform, your brand, you do come with a responsibility. That's all I'm saying.
I'm not. Well, let me.
You could just say she's ignorant. If
let me have a responsibility.
I'm not trying to.
But that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. And let me just say that. Let me say this. I'm tired of niggas saying that I'm lazy or content creators are lazy or that we don't do anything. And then as a viewer, you don't actually watch the fucking video.
I agree.
That's fair.
Stop. Literally in the video, I literally say, yo, I do not believe she's trying to have a disingenuous conversation. I believe she's serious and genuine about what she's saying. I literally say it in the video.
Then why put WNBA players are lying if you're going to put that in the video? That's going to turn people off.
Because there's a part of the video where she's lying.
Bro, when somebody lying to me is intent on misleading somebody.
I personally believe when you sit here and try to compare the NBA to the WNBA, which I don't even think we should do anyway, but I think when you purposely do that and then you specifically try to find a way to leverage your conversation by saying, hey, look at the NBA 25 years in and look at where we are 25 years in. We're in way better standings. That is just a lie. I think, and I believe she was attempting to say that because she was trying to have a counterpoint to people comparing the WNBA today to the NBA today. And so her counterpoint was, hey, let's not do that. Let's shift it back to 25 years ago when the league 50 years ago when the NBA was 25 years in. But even when you do that, it's still false. It's false. It's incorrect. It's a lie.
How can you say that while also saying that you don't think she was being disingenuous? Like that's kind of double
Exactly.
speak.
Like
It's not. It's because I don't because
If
it's
she's
not
disingenuous, then she's lying.
because
What?
no
But
that's I
No, it's
believe that
disingenuous because she brought up the NBA.
I believe that that part of her conversation was that part of our argument I think was disingenuous. But I believe the overarching part of the conversation that she was having as a whole was not disingenuous. Y'all do this thing where I don't know why y'all think that everybody has to agree with like when somebody says one thing you just have to agree with everything else
you
they
don't.
say. If Donald Trump comes out and says 2 + 2 is 4, I'm not going to argue this nigga down even though I disagree with this nigga's politics. If he says 2 + 2 is 4, he is correct. It's fine to agree or disagree with somebody if they're saying things that are incorrect or not correct. That does not then mean that you agree or disagree on everything else that they say. Why the fuck are we talking like we're 5 years old?
And
But
it's
Yeah,
not
once,
just
I feel
that.
like
but
I
It's
feel
it's
like
not
but
just
what?
that,
But once
Lo.
more,
it's semantics, bro. It's semantics,
once
bro.
more, we're having a semantics
Yeah,
argument instead of actually talking about the WNBA,
The
because
real
if she's
issues.
loud, and wrong, you
which
can make her
again
like, you know what I
was
mean?
my point, was a point that I made in the video, and yet again here we are having it once more.
And
Yet
the thing
again,
that's annoying about
Like she's
this is
loud and
like
wrong. So you can
y'all
make the
forgetting
title
like
like she's lying. Like, come on.
Lowe's overwhelming point is kind of being proven because, and I agree with Lowe's overwhelming point, even though there were certain things you said in the video that I may disagree with, but your overwhelming point makes sense because people got to remember that like anytime WNBA players talk about like their league, they're the ones that's always bringing up the NBA. They're the one that's always comparing both leagues. Like Lowe also brought up Lisa Leslie even saying that NBA players should give up a game salary or some shit. Like y'all don't think that that's a problem
Which
that
is
they
crazy.
sit there
That's
anytime
crazy.
whenever they want to talk about their league, they're comparing it to a league that not only funds their league, but don't forget the NBA funds the G League. They don't even generate as much as the G League. You feel me? Like they're sitting here ignoring that the
More
biggest problem
teams, more
is how
games.
profitable. It's more teams for a reason, nigga.
Dre, do you think now that they expanded it to 40 games this upcoming season, you think that it will generate um
The money that it needs,
closer?
no. Does it bring them closer? Yes.
Okay, we'll see.
But why do you say it
I
brings them
honestly think
closer,
the lowering the rim thing, and I was talking to Omar about this earlier in Discord, but the lowering the rim thing, the reason I can never say it's stupid or a sexist idea, for one, it's not sexist if in other sports they accommodate women as well. And literally in the WNBA, they have smaller balls. They accommodate for their lack of skill and athleticism compared to the men. But like, it will also change how the game is played completely. He said, and their argument is the WNBA, they have a play style that is just more fundamental. It's not transition offense, none of that stuff. But it's like, to me, if you lower the rim, it will make things different. Like big men, well, not big men, but bigger women will dominate obviously more. And not only that, it'll force smaller players to have to be more effective in different ways. It'll just change the game completely. So it'll just force maybe a different style of basketball. And I keep saying, and I've been saying this for a while, the WNBA, they need a star. And I'm not talking no Candace Parker, Diana. Those are stars in their league. But I'm talking about a star that if you go on the street and ask, hey, do you know who so-and-so is? They're going to tell you. My dad knows who Steph Curry is. He ain't watched a lick of basketball all year, but he knows Steph Curry. I'm talking about a real star. And they don't have that. And I don't think that they've ever had that. And if you can change the
I
Can
rules
we
to
disagree. I
say?
think
allow
they've definitely had it before. I disagree with that.
who?
Can we say it because the NBA was big?
Sue
Sue
Bird,
Bird,
Lisa
What
low.
the
If you
fuck you
go
Uh,
up
mean?
to any,
Sue Bird,
Leslie,
nigga.
Cheryl Sw-
Lisa. I'm gonna say Lisa Leslie.
Cheryl Sw-
I don't think those
Yeah.
are, bro. Those are
Those are
not. I'm
those
sorry, those
not.
are not like they did not transcend
Did
past
you
the
did you did you
WNBA,
did you watch basketball when Lisa Leslie was playing?
bro. I know she
I
was a
think
great
I
player.
think
She
that's
was
his point
popular,
is that it's popular for the sport, but not on the everyday
and
street. Like
even then,
everybody knows
low.
what
I
LeBron
know,
Look at what you just
but
did,
that's
But you
low. You
meant
just proved my point, low. You just proved my point. Nowadays, kids don't know who that is. But if I ask my brother, hey, you ever hear of Larry Bird or Michael Jordan? Of course, they're gonna know who that is.
I did. I don't know. Maybe I could be wrong. I think there's a good portion of even younger audience that still
exactly.
knows who Lisa
I
Leslie is.
figured out about Lisa
I don't know
Leslie
about
from
that.
not sports.
Yeah, I'm
Okay, well, let me ask you this: do
I
you
could be
think that they
mistaken, but I believe
still
so.
need more of that though? That is something
No,
that they
I
need?
agree that marketing stars is another part of the problem. I
Yeah.
said that in the video. Yeah,
I don't think that they have stars that really transcend their sport. To be honest, they just, especially nowadays,
No, they
they don't
do.
have
They
that.
just
Sue
don't know how
Bird,
to do it.
they're not marketing. I think they're
The
struggling
marketing
mightily
problem
in
is they
marketing.
push this big sisterhood thing, and that's not work. It's not
yeah,
gonna work, and it's the dumbest idea
women
ever.
never
They need to
support
split
each
away
other.
from
we're
that.
agreeing on the same thing. It's the marketing of their stars that's a big problem right now, in my opinion. I think that's a bigger issue than like
Than anything on the court. Yes,
yeah.
1,000%.
Okay, so I said that in the video.
Yeah,
You know you
I
said it
How
agree.
do
A lot
how
of
do
people
we
that
how
are
do we
complaining have not
You
watched the
know you said
video,
that in the
so I don't
video,
even
though.
know. You shouldn't care about what they think.
how do we, and if anybody else, I'm sorry to the people who are trying to also come up. I have to I invited Tierra to be a co-host so we can have another co-host so I can bring somebody else in. Okay, now she's a co-host. All right. What and
Hey, Lo, you
I
should make me a co-host, bro.
no,
It's too late.
I looked at both you and Najee, and I
My
was like,
bad, Lo.
Look at
That's
no,
look at
it's
crazy.
good.
that
It's good.
sexism, bro.
I
That is
looked at you
Sexism.
and Najee.
insane.
I was like,
TR, he's picking you to be the token black, the token woman in here, bro. Don't let
I
him
had to
do that.
I had to get a little
That's
bit more
crazy.
variety.
Mustard, were you about to
I
say
had to get a
token
little more
black
variety.
woman?
The token. Hey, I was gonna say that,
Hey,
but
I'm so
that
glad
doesn't
you
really
saved
apply
yourself.
here.
That is wild.
Yeah.
That may be true.
Anything else that people want to concern about either my video or the WNBA? Because I do believe that marketability is a problem, in particular
Why
to
you
their
make that
stars.
face on the thumbnail? Why you do that? You know that would go piss people off like you wasn't taking it serious or genuine. That's what people are.
Hold on, my question to
Lo knows what
everybody,
he's doing
like,
with that thumbnail, dog. He acting like he
I
don't know
know
what
he
he's
But
know
that's
doing.
good
exactly what he
no, no,
did.
marketing.
no, no, no,
That
no. For
shit pissed me
everybody who's
off, bro.
The
I
WNBA.
don't think that's fair. I
I
don't
for
don't
think that's
even.
fair.
I
everybody,
can't lie.
I don't. Hey, y'all
I don't think that's
niggas
fair
be
to Low.
chatting,
He's
bro.
in
I
a
think y'all
content
niggas be
It's
creator
chatting.
not fair
business.
to Lo. It's
Yeah,
not fair to
come
Lo
on.
because especially Omar coming at him because I've literally seen Omar make what was the Tory Lanez the
Oh
shooter?
Lord.
Like he
Yeah,
literally
come
made
on.
that thumbnail too.
Every
So
Like, knock
content
it
creator
off.
does
Like,
it,
any
bro. It's
content
not.
yeah,
creator,
everybody does it.
Nope.
So I'm
it's
not
You
mad
know
about
literally
that.
it's
What? Yo,
literally his
time out.
job
Time out.
to a certain
Bro,
extent. Obviously, to a
mhm.
certain extent, and I
but
think that
me,
was definitely within that.
but me pick y'all niggas read way too much into things. Me picking a thumbnail that expresses my disgust for the conversation not being taken serious once more in the video. What does that do? Why is
I
that a
mean, I
problem?
personally don't
I
care, so
personally don't
I'm
care.
not tripping on
No. But what I'm saying is why would that be conveyed as a problem?
People don't think you're genuine
Oh,
when you do bring up the
because bro, people
problem.
don't think you're genuine. That's
Yeah,
it.
bro.
People just
Like
gonna
that's what
hate.
they're DMing me and telling me. They don't think you're genuine.
Lo, you're acting
But
like you
how
don't.
can you
But
You're
not
yeah,
be
but
you
genuine
don't
if
know.
everything
but
said in the video is a fact?
That's on them.
that's my but again, and I'm gonna get to Tierra after this. But again, that's the problem is that I get that there are a lot of disingenuine people having that conversation, undeniably. I'm not even, and I also address those people at the end of the video as well. Ironically
But you
enough,
heard them
all the
also
things
leave
that y'all are
being,
talking about, I
bro.
talked about it in the video. And I said literally to those people, bro, shut up. Stop talking about the conversation if you don't want to have a genuine one. Even me, bro, the talking point in the subject matter has been a pressing issue for the past 3 to 4 years, and I've never made a video about it, not only because I was 4 years ago not informed about it, but also I didn't have enough information about it. But also, it felt as if like other people should be having the conversation. But every single time it happens, it dissolves into a disingenuous nature of people either pandering or bashing a sport that doesn't need that type of response in either direction.
I hear what you're saying, Lo. I get what you're saying, but it's like and I agree. But you also have to understand, like, that's just the society we live in, bro. Like, niggas
Bro,
are
he knows what he's doing, bro.
niggas.
Like you
Wait,
can't
so
see
niggas just
society,
can't
bro.
like? I don't understand.
No, I'm not saying he can't do nothing. I agree with
I do.
Lo, but people are just gonna be sensitive about. But and think about it. People are a lot of these people that are mad. When's the last time they even talked about the WNBA or about any of the issues in the WNBA?
Exactly.
Mm,
You feel
Nobody
me?
ever talks about the WNBA until it's this conversation.
And then it's crazy how like Lowe's making a video about the
Yeah, who is
WNBA, and
that?
y'all getting on him about it. But like, what have y'all done? What conversations have y'all had
How
about
about
the?
watch? How
When
about
have you?
watch the WNBA?
Not to be
I just
fair, I know Lowe watching the WNBA and you can still have these conversations even if you don't watch the WNBA because knowing how a business works, you don't have to be a fan of the fucking business to know how the business fucking works and how it should work.
I think they're upset at me. And after this, I'm gonna go to Tier. I think they're upset at me for having some form of suggestions and believing that I don't watch the sport. I don't think that they believe that the criticism of the business model is there. I would assume that their concerns or frustrations with me stem with me making some form of quote unquote improvements without actually watching it. Which, to be fair, I believe there is some validity behind that. However, I watch the sport. I mean, I'm not going to act like I watch it as often as the next person or anybody else in this space. I'm not going to sit here and compete like I watch it more than you, but I certainly watch it enough to understand certain concerns and nuances of what's the problem of the sport is. Something that again I highlighted in the video, but you know what it is. Yo, Tierra, what is on your mind?
Appreciate it, Lo. So I'm just gonna basically like reiterate what I had said in Damo's space. Like I do agree in like the marketing on the like the behind the scenes part. They could enhance it better because like I don't know if you had heard what Damo said, but he had mentioned like if you look at the NBA historically, like the way that it was like in the beginning compared to now, like it's been a drastic change, but that change was for like more viewership, ultimately more money. Like in the beginning, a lot of people wasn't really watching it. They was watching baseball, you know what I'm saying? And so, but they structured it in a way where it would get more views by making changes. And like I said, in his space, I don't think lowering the rim or making the ball smaller or none of that nonsense would change anything in regards to people like watching it. Like I feel like if you're not watching it now, ultimately you probably won't watch it. There might be some people who will get into it, and they'll even get into it even if it stays like to the standards that it is now. But I just feel like I said over there, it's people's like implicit bias to some degree that prevents them from looking at female sports as a whole as like something that is like marketable. In every aspect they've had this issue, whether it's female boxing, UFC, like it really didn't matter what area it
You think
was.
it's all
Like
sports, all female sports?
ultimately majority of female sports deal with this like issue, especially when it's on a like viewed in a way where it's like compared or it's contrasted against like male sports, like how they bring the NBA. I don't think it's a sense of them saying like, hey, we want the same pay. I think it's just like along the lines, it's like pay us for our like our likeness and our our names and all this stuff that we bring, and then help us get more pay, because ultimately I feel like the way the WNBA is structured is a little off when you compare it to the NBA, in the sense that the NBA allows 19-year-olds to come and play, 19-year-old males, where you got to be 22 years old. And from what I've heard, you finish 4 full years of college before you're accepted in the WNBA. But when you look at women, like a 22-year-old, the average 22-year-old is like being pressured to start a family, get married, and have kids. And so like when you look at attrition, ultimately women is not going to be watching it. They was watching baseball, you know what I'm saying? And so, but they structured it in a way where it would get more views by making changes. And like I said, in his space, I don't think lowering the rim or making the ball smaller or none of that nonsense would change anything in regards to people like watching it. Like I feel like if you're not watching it now, ultimately you probably won't watch it. There might be some people who will get into it, and they'll even get into it even if it stays like to the standards that it is now. But I just feel like I said over there, it's people's like implicit bias to some degree that prevents them from looking at female sports as a whole as like something that is like marketable. In every aspect they've had this issue, whether it's female boxing, UFC, like it really didn't matter what area it
You think
was.
it's all sports,
Like
all female sports?
ultimately majority of female sports deal with this like issue, especially when it's on a like viewed in a way where it's like compared or it's contrasted against like male sports, like how they bring the NBA. I don't think it's a sense of them saying like, hey, we want the same pay. I think it's just like along the lines, it's like pay us for our like our likeness and our our names and all this stuff that we bring, and then help us get more pay, because ultimately I feel like the way the WNBA is structured is a little off when you compare it to the NBA, in the sense that the NBA allows 19-year-olds to come and play, 19-year-old males, where you got to be 22 years old, and from what I've heard, you finish 4 full years of college before you're accepted in the WNBA. But when you look at women, like a 22-year-old, the average 22-year-old is like being pressured to start a family, get married, and have kids. And so, like, when you look at attrition, ultimately women is not going to stick around. Like, one, I
That's
would have loved to
not
join
false.
hold on. I would have loved to join the WNBA, but it's not incentivized to join because there's no real protections or safeguards. There's no like marketability. Like I said, if you watch some of these local niggas like Street Stars, and I think they out of the DMV area, Baltimore and all that, or even Jaffe runs in Brooklyn, New York City, like they put on female like college basketball, and some of these females can dunk. They could do the same things that the dudes do with the same standards as hoop and ball and all this, but it's just they're
I don't
not
know about
getting
all that. I don't
views
know about all that.
Your
It's
your
not. All
because
age.
you
right, hold
don't
on, hold on,
look
hold on, hold
into
on, hold
that
on.
stuff.
Your,
Have you heard of
No,
Uncle
no, no.
Scoop?
I was literally just having.
Have you heard of Uncle Scoob? Like, if you're not looking into this, you're not gonna see it. Like, the average person would sit here and say, like, "Oh, females is not competitive. Females this," but it's the training matters. Like, societally, mother freaking females are trained to a weaker standard. You're not gonna take their sport seriously. I bet money I can outlift, outpull the majority of the males in this space because I am athletic. Most of y'all are average built. Y'all are, and not for no disrespect, but most of y'all are the typical American. You're couch sitters. You have jobs that is like, don't require much, movement unless it's like back breaking, but it's nothing built on your athleticism. You know what I'm saying? So I would outperform most of y'all in here, but females are not. We're not market. We're not trained like that on average. One thing I can say though, my daddy did it with me.
Do
Okay,
you
look,
know why?
TR, hold on, no layups. TR, I'm not
Tierra
trying to
says
be
this
mean.
every
I'm not
single
trying to be
space.
mean, dog. But first of all, don't just start assuming what everybody looks like up in here. And secondly, I'm not trying to be mean to women here, but let's be honest. I've even seen some of the best female dunks ever. Niggas was linking me 360s when I said this shit in Discord, and them 360 dunks was not good. Like, I'm not trying to be mean, but women do not have. Let's not act like there's a gap between men and women. There is. Not. It's not
Like a
sexist. It's not
two-hand
me.
rim grazer and a 360 windmill are just two totally different
They're
things.
two different dunks. They're not the same thing. And I'm not trying to disrespect women here, but that's just the fact. That's the reality. Men jump higher. They're stronger on average. If you compare yourself to the average guy that works out, because I assume you work out with the way you was just saying is, if you compare yourself to the average guy that works out, he's blowing you out the gym. So, like, come on now.
Why
And
do
you're
y'all keep
not
Bro,
the
doing
not
that
even that.
comparison when
Like,
y'all say y'all
you
don't
could
want that
probably
comparison?
outpull and outpush me, outlift me, but like, could you beat me one-on-one in basketball?
No, you can't.
If we go on a football field, would you be able to tackle me?
Like, Bronny,
no.
if you put Bronny, and I know this is a tired statement,
Yes,
but
nigga, you just saying no because I'm a female.
Exactly.
No,
What
I'm
the
saying
fuck?
I'm not even just saying no because you're a female. Most of the
shit.
niggas in here probably couldn't beat me one-on-one either. Like, I'm saying this
I don't
because I
even
can
think it's.
hoop.
I don't even
What
think
the
it's
fuck
that.
is he
Like,
That's a
talking
fact.
about?
we all know, men and women. Like, no matter how much a woman will train her whole life, she's never gonna be as good as like some of like the most mid athletes in the NBA. And that's not a shot at her. That's just that's how genetics works. JJ Redick could go in the WNBA and become the greatest player of all time in their sport. That's not a shot
Y'all
at
be
her.
Bro,
gassing some of these niggas
and one
sometimes,
thing
bro.
that
Y'all gotta
proves
stop
what
doing
they
that dumb
say is
shit.
How's
like,
that?
Hey, bro.
How's that
No, look.
mean?
That's actually
Prime
not
I have
bad.
example.
no
Prime example.
idea.
Prime example.
I have
Serena
no idea how
Williams
we even
put out
got
a
to this
Oh,
challenge
about to say
conversation.
Serena
to play
Williams
a
was
tennis
perfect
per-
example.
to
Thank
play
you.
a
I
male tennis
literally
player
wait. I
As
just
long
literally
as he,
went to go get my heater. First of all, it's cold as hell in Atlanta. I went to get my heater.
Tierra
I came.
started talking about how she can out bench press everybody, and so
Talk about how
that's
she's wrong about the age thing too, because the
hold on,
age
wait.
process
Like,
are small.
so prime
That's
example, male versus female. Serena Williams, who is the greatest female tennis player of all time.
I'm sorry, bro. I don't want to have this conversation, bro. I truly don't. We are talking about the WNBA. I do not care about the genetic difference between the two. We're talking about how to improve the actual WNBA. That's it, bro. I do not care about the genetic difference between men and women. I just don't care.
Hey man, I blame Tiara.
She started saying she
Tiara
could
did
lift
this.
more than everybody.
She the
No,
one out here saying that women
And
could do
y'all
what
niggas
the men
getting
could do.
butthurt. What